Good morning, everybody. It's good to be back here in Tampa. I'm joined this morning by FDLE Commissioner Mark Glass, HSI Assistant Special Agent in Charge Michael Calvo, St. Petersburg Police Department Chief Anthony Holloway, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy Joseph Maurer, and from our Office of Statewide Prosecution, Special Counsel Rita Peters. This morning is another opportunity to send a clear message to all predators out there, child molesters, traffickers, people that want to go after the most vulnerable in our state, that we take this more seriously than anything else. Going after predators is our number one priority, and that is not going to change. So we've got a few different announcements this morning. First, we secured a conviction and will have sentencing this week in the case of Marquette James. This is an individual who faces 4 criminal counts, multiple counts of human trafficking and racketeering. This individual was preying upon young women. What makes this case interesting is the federal government under the Biden administration had this case for a number of years and chose not to do anything with it. They did not prosecute. Once the administration changed and the Trump administration came in, HSI reached out to the state seeking some help, wanting to work together, and work together we did. We got this scumbag. He's going to face 120 years plus behind bars, and that's not enough time. So we're going to continue to investigate. We will add additional charges as necessary. We will make sure we send a message again. Stay away from our women and children. We also have 2 child pornography cases, 2 takedowns to talk about today. One, Lucas Jose Harayez, here in the country on a visa. He's the owner of Lala Restaurant in St. Petersburg, charged with 18 counts of child pornography. There's probably more to come. He's going to do a lot of time. We also have Michael Yuntz, charged with 9 counts of possession of child pornography and 1 count of promotion of a sexual performance of a minor. He's looking at decades behind bars. Again, not enough time. I want to thank FDLE, HSI, and all of our law enforcement partners for working together to get these guys off the streets. Finally, we've been announcing more charges on the case of Mr. Holmgren. Did I get that right, Rita? Holmberg. This is the individual that we recently announced we will be seeking the death penalty on. The depravity that describes this situation is like nothing we've ever seen before. To sum it all up, all the counts included, and we're still not done going through evidence. This individual, as a reminder, sexually abused multiple children and videotaped most of it, if not all of it. We're looking at 14 life sentences there, 7 death sentences, and over 2,355 years in prison. And people ask, why do you list all this out? Isn't 1 death sentence or 1 life sentence enough? It is not. We have to explain to the public how serious this is. Every single count, every single offense, and the punishment that is due. So we know when it comes to death penalty of a child predator, we're going to have to go up and hopefully get the United States Supreme Court to revisit this issue. We feel pretty confident that we're right on the law and that they will indeed revisit. We want to levy the ultimate form of punishment when it comes to this most heinous offense. Words cannot describe the pain that this man has caused for many kids that are out there. We'll pray for him, we'll treat him, we'll help them, but they may never realize a normal life because of what he took away from them. So this morning we again send a reminder, if you prey on our kids, if you go after our women, if you traffic and abuse, we will come for you with everything we've got. It's our number one priority, and we will shut you down. So again, I want to thank law enforcement for being here, for the work that they do, and especially, those behind the scenes. Prosecutors, they've got to review these videos. They've got to look at the pictures as they're putting the charging documents together. And that's why we've pushed that prosecutors in Florida receive the special risk retirement designation so they can get more and earlier retirement. Because not only are they going toe-to-toe, face-to-face with violent offenders who might get out and remember that last face they looked at, but they also have to be exposed to hours and hours of this sick stuff. It's necessary for evidentiary purposes, but that'll take a toll on somebody. So God bless them for doing it. We as a state need to take care of them for it, and I hope that our leaders in the state legislature will take this seriously. We have to have prosecutors doing this, or guys like these sickos go free. So thank you to our prosecutors, investigators, law enforcement. We live in a great state, and we're going to take down bad guys every day. So thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you, Attorney General. I appreciate you letting me be here today to speak about this. When I come here all the time to talk on this, it's just one of many cases that's going on throughout our state all the time. Too many cases of sexual predators after our children. It's just he hears me tell you all the time, it's just evil people doing evil deeds against innocent people. And what we had here today, I'm just going to kind of get right into Mr. Yance. 1 count of promoting sexual performance and 9 counts of possession of sexual child abuse material. Now, he was part of an undercover operation that we do all the time. And if you do this type of stuff, don't be surprised if you hear a knock on the door or a thump on the door, or you go into the grocery store or something like that while you're in between your doing your deviant acts, that we may take you down. We have a strong partnership of federal, state, and local law enforcement. We don't tolerate it, and we have the Attorney General who here in the free state of Florida that will not tolerate it. And we will levy every bit of we can on these type of people that do this heinous stuff in our neighborhoods. But we were able to identify this through his IP address and obtain files depicting sexual abuse of children younger than 5 years old. That's prepubescent. That is just a sick individual. And we're not going to tolerate it in this great state. And January 27th, we busted in the door, got him, and put him in custody up in Citrus County, and he's in the 5th Circuit. Attorney General Uthmire's Office of Statewide Prosecution are above the best, and I'm going to kind of chime in on what he was just talking about, our prosecutors. Just like our analysts and our officers, detectives, and deputies and agents, they have to see this stuff. They have to do everything they can to put somebody in jail, put them away, to keep them away from our kids. Now, the difference is when he was talking about prosecutors for special risk class for retirement, they deserve it. And also, too, they get the threats just like officers get the threats from the public. When we put them in jail, it's just what we did. We put them in jail. Our prosecutors put them in prison. And they have a long time to remember the face of the person they were there to do, that put them there. Our faces will fade away, but theirs is seared in courtroom testimony day after day. They remember that, and we need to be supporting our prosecutors that are out there to ensure that they have the capability and the necessity, the needs they have to continue to do successful prosecutions, so we don't lose that great talent that we have in our judicial system to ensure that we put bad guys like this out of commission. Now, there's more to follow behind me that's going to talk more about the different cases they have. And people say, well, it's just a simple CSAM case. No, it's never simple. The victimization of these children, parents, neighbors, friends, is just horrific what they have to go through. And we really need to spend our time with the victim witnesses, ensure that our victims' right advocates are fully funded, that they're out there and they're doing the great job they do on a day-to-day basis to help build these children back into society, to help sure that they have the tools they need to be successful. But, again, I'm here just to say thank you, Attorney General, for the support you give law enforcement. Between you, Governor DeSantis, President Trump, and our cabinet and legislators, y'all have given us the tools to do great things to protect our family and protect you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Michael Calvo. That's C-A-L-V as in Victor O. And I'm the Acting Assistant Special Agent in Charge for Homeland Security Investigations, Tampa Field Office. Before I begin, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to Attorney General Uthmire, to Ms. Rita Peters with the Office of Statewide Prosecution, and to your entire staff for the unwavering support in the pursuit of justice and the rule of law in Florida. I'd also like to extend a special thank you to my fellow law enforcement colleagues, Commissioner Glass with FDLE, Chief Deputy Maurer with HCSO, and Chief Holloway with the St. Petersburg Police Department. Your continued collaboration and partnership are invaluable, and it is truly a personal honor to share the podium with you all this morning. I'd also like to give a shout out to all the special agents and supervisors at HSI Tampa, both past and present, who despite every single challenge thrown at them during this investigation, were able to get this case across the finish line. You guys are truly the best. Human trafficking is a complex issue, one that no single agency can tackle alone. It requires teamwork, such as sharing information, resources, and expertise to identify traffickers, support victims, and ensure justice is served. By working together, we reach more people, respond faster, and provide better support to those who need it most. I'm so proud of how our agencies came together during this investigation. Thanks to everyone's grit and professionalism, we identified those responsible, connected victims with vital services, and most importantly, held offenders accountable. This partnership undoubtedly leads to the betterment of our communities and brings hope to those affected. Having listened to the victim's testimony during trial, I can attest to the raw emotions and traumatic experience that were recounted. Many tears were shed, and no one in this country should ever have to live that way. But thanks to the perseverance of every agency involved, the victims can be assured that these monsters will never again be able to terrorize others. Finally, if you're listening or watching, I want this to be abundantly clear. I don't care if you call HSI, I don't care if you call the FBI, I don't care if you call your state and local law enforcement. Make the call. I promise you we will work in unison to come rescue you. Thank you.
Good morning. I'd like to thank the Attorney General for putting us all together. And briefly, I just want to say that everybody's kind of likes everything that I want to talk about, but it's a public safety is not one agency responsibility. As you heard, it's state, federal, local, working together so we can take these predators off the street. The detectives, the men and women that have to go through these cases, look at these files, and talk to these people online, I don't know how they do it, but thank God they do it because they keep us safe. Just by getting the person off the street, it's not the end of it, it's just the beginning. Because our great prosecutors, they're the ones that have to put these cases together, make it a good case to make sure that these people do not get released anymore. When law enforcement and prosecutors share information, work together, we create a system to protect the victim, strengthen our case, and keep dangerous individuals off the street. And for the predators that are out there listening, you have two options. Option number one, get offline, get the help you need. Option number two, stay online, and like the commissioner said, we'll come knock on your door, we will arrest you, and the prosecutors will prosecute you. That's your last warning. Thank you.
Good morning. On behalf of Sheriff Chad Chronister, it's my distinct honor and privilege to be here. First, thank you, Attorney General Uthmeyer, for having us here. Thank you to the Department of Homeland Security Investigations. Sheriff Chad Chronister's number one goal is to protect this community. And who are our most vulnerable? Women and children, from traffickers and predators. So much so that Sheriff Chronister implemented a human trafficking squad in the year 2021. 8 dedicated detectives, 2 supervisors. In just over 4 years, countless arrests, but the most important, 65 victims recovered. And I don't want to talk about the suspect in our case with HSI. I want to talk about the 2 victims. It's a story of courage and survival. And that's what we're here to do, is to identify those survivors, those victims, and bring them out of control of these traffickers and predators. Sexual assault, physical assault, financial control, that is not a life. And that is our job. Everyone standing behind me today, that is our number one priority, to keep this community safe. And we can't do it alone. If you are a victim, please notify any local or state and federal law enforcement, and we will be there to help you. As I look, I see some of my detectives back here. and the dedication that they bring day in and day out to keep this community safe, just one victim is enough for that squad. But 65 in 4 years, it includes 13 juveniles, ladies and gentlemen. It is a problem, and it is an issue that Sheriff Chronister has given his word to attack, and we will continue to do so. Thank you to the prosecutors, because without their countless efforts, we can make the arrests, but they need to go to prison, like Chief Holloway said. They need to go to prison for a long time. Thank you all for being here today.
Good morning. I stand before you deeply honored to serve as special counsel for Attorney General Uzsmeier, whose priority from day one was the protection of our citizens and keeping Florida safe. I have profound gratitude for his unwavering commitment to the oath that he took a year ago, and I trust that the trust that he places in my office, the office that I share with Stephanie Bergen and countless other statewide prosecutors around the state of Florida. With his support, we have aggressively protected this state and will always, always put victims first as we meticulously pursue justice. I'm equally thankful for the incredible partnerships that make this work possible. Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, Hernando County, City of St. Petersburg, HSI, and FDLE. We are all on the same mission, and jurisdictional lines do not divide us. The men and women of these agencies are the line between good and evil, and Florida is fortunate to have them on our side. I also want to recognize the outstanding collaboration with my fellow prosecutors from the 5th Judicial Circuit, led by State Attorney Bill Gladson, and in the 6th Judicial Circuit, led by State Attorney Bruce Bartlett. We operate in lockstep because our victims deserve unity, and our state demands that. The cases we are pursuing reflect some of the darkest corners of our community. But with the courage of those survivors and the strength of our law enforcement officers and our victim service partners, we are taking action. Nathan Holmberg stands accused of heinous victimization of multiple young boys. The charges filed across Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, and Hernando County reflect the severity of those allegations, and the scope of this prosecution is sending a clear message. No victim's voice will go unheard, and no criminal act will be forgotten. In the case of Marquette James, who was convicted of human trafficking just in November, his threats and coercion were answered with strength, dignity, and justice. His victims found the courage to testify, even in the face of cross-examination by Marquette James himself. My co-counsel, Stephanie Bergen, and I were proud to be their voices in court. We thank HSI, Detective Sackler, Special Agent Sackler-Ladies, if I pronounce that properly, and Hillsborough County Detective Ryan Daniels. We are proud to have worked side by side. They are heroes in this fight. Finally, the 2 arrests for child sexual abuse material. Let me be clear. Those who download, share, and take gratification in such material are complicit in the violent exploitation of our children, many of whom, in this case, were infants. These crimes are not passive. They are a byproduct of human trafficking, and they will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law because that is what those babies deserve. I leave you with this. Justice is our driving force, and we are guided by facts, grounded in the law, and unwavering in our duty to protect the people of the state of Florida. No matter the case, no matter the challenge, we will follow the evidence wherever it leads, and we will pursue full and complete accountability. That is our mission, and we will proudly follow it. One final thought. If anyone who is listening to this press conference has any information on any of the cases that you heard about this morning, please contact the Office of Statewide Prosecution, the St. Petersburg Police Department, Detective Rachel Hunter, or the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Special Agent Dodie Pruitt. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. You know, some people refer to me as the bulldog, Rita, but if I'm the bulldog, I don't know what that makes you. But in all seriousness, thank you to you and Stephanie. Thanks for the work you and your teams do. If taxpayers at home truly understood what you guys do for the state to promote public safety. I mean, Rita does this type of work all day, every day. That's going to take a toll on you, but she's doing it not for the paycheck. These aren't the highest paying jobs in the world. Certainly not for the lifestyle, as she probably burns the midnight oil more than almost anybody in a legal practice. But she's passionate about the work because it saves lives. It truly does. And to Michael, Homeland Security, we love having you guys here in the state. You see other states out there that don't welcome federal law enforcement, that want to resist and thwart and not work together. You don't see that chaos and that anarchy here in Florida because we got a great relationship. We work together to solve these problems. I mean, today's a terrific example. You got federal law enforcement, state law enforcement. You got the sheriff involved. You got local police, our prosecutors. We all work together because we have the same common goal. Rule of law, putting bad guys away, and looking out for Florida families. So it's an honor every day to get to be here. And I stand up and, get a lot of the credit, but these are the guys that do the work. So with that, I think we got time for a few questions. Anybody?
The victims, there are several cases here. Are the victims local, Bay from Florida? Are they images of victims from other states or countries? How does this kind of play out?
Yeah, several of the victims involved are from the greater Tampa Bay area. Reed, I'll have to defer to you on images and things that can be provided. Some of that might have to happen offline, at the appropriate time.
They're mostly from Florida. Mostly the victims are from Florida. In some of the other cases, they're child pornography series where they're being identified, but most likely we'll at least have some Florida connection to some of those babies that are appearing in those images.
You also just announced this morning a lawsuit against Planned Parenthood. You mind just kind of describing what that entails?
Yeah, we sued Planned Parenthood back some weeks ago. They were falsely advertising that the abortion pills that are mailed around and can get in the hands of kids are safer than Tylenol that you would get over the shelf. That's just empirically false. The data suggests that women that take these pills, oftentimes outside of a clinical setting, 1 in 25 end up in the emergency room. This is dangerous. It's unsafe. It's false advertising. I think we've got a great case against Planned Parenthood, and they need to pay for what they've done. They endanger women and children. My comment this morning you might be referring to, there's a legislator over in the Pensacola area, Alan Andrade. We found out his law firm is defending Planned Parenthood in state court against the state. And not only that, this guy, he chairs a subcommittee on the legislature on health care. So somebody that's aligned with Planned Parenthood, endangering women and children, they should not be chairing a subcommittee focused on the health of our citizens. I know this guy's been big, promoting LGBT trans rights and recreational marijuana, other things, but this is a whole new level. This cannot happen. No state official in leadership, much less a Republican, should be aligned in representing Planned Parenthood. That's awful. So I hope the Speaker of the Florida House of Representatives will address this. I know my office is certainly not going to be cooperating with that subcommittee so long as you have somebody like that involved. Full stop.
Announcement came out saying that the 22 amendments proposed have all failed, with 2 of them being actually submitted, I guess, by the Florida legislature. Just your reaction to that and why you think they might have all failed.
Sure, I did get the report from the Secretary of State's office last night that these ballot initiatives where they need signatures did not get the requisite number of signatures to get on the ballot. The smart and safe, recreational marijuana in public amendment, that one we've announced, multiple criminal investigations. We're looking at a lot of fraudulent signatures. I know that, hundreds of thousands, were being verified as false signatures. People were calling in saying, that's not my signature, I didn't submit it. I think this highlights the danger of these petition gathering processes, things going on the ballot where, you have fraud in the election system. On Florida, we've come a long way from the hanging Chad era of 2000. We have an election integrity unit. We protect our ballot. We protect the Constitution. We have election results available right after 7 o'clock on Election Day. We do it right. We understand that, your right to vote is sacred, and when other people cheat and steal and mislead voters, it hurts every citizen in that right. So these didn't make it. That doesn't mean our investigation into Smart and Safe concludes. We will continue, and people that have committed fraud, have committed election fraud, we will hold them accountable.
So can you say again the charges those guys were facing at the time? You put a lot of time into this.
On the election stuff or on the content from today? Yeah, the first individual, let me see, Marquette James, he's looking at 2 counts of human trafficking, racketeering, and conspiracy to commit racketeering. He's facing up to 120 years. He'll get a nice long scholarship to our Department of Corrections. We've got Lucas Jose Harayez, the owner of Lala Restaurant in St. Pete, charged with 18 counts of child pornography, looking at many years in prison. Michael Yuntz, charged with 9 counts of possession of child pornography, 1 count of promotion of sexual performance of a minor. Again, this guy's looking at 60 years plus behind bars. Then we've talked a lot, about the Holmberg case, which overlaps Hernando, Pinellas, and now Hillsborough counties. Multiple charges have been added as, our investigators and prosecutors continue to go through the footage, and there's just, unfortunately, a lot of it. It's sick. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one. Thank you all.